Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to the True Podcast. I'm your boy Davont'e, and today we have KD with us. We have switched things over. I am going to be the new host of the True Podcast, and I'm excited to give you great content and a lot of great footage here. We have KD. Would you want to say a couple words?
What's going on, peeps? Man, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Man. But it is good to be back, man. And I promise you guys, this thing is like Allstate, man. Y'all are in good hands. Davont'e gonna take over the Truth Podcast and gonna give you guys exactly what it is that you need in your life, man. I'm really looking forward to 2024. Like I said, it's been a while, man. It's a lot of things that we got to go over, a lot of things that has taken place, that has happened over the last year and a half that we haven't been on the Truth Podcast.
Absolutely.
It's been a minute, but we excited. We excited to get back in here and provide you guys with that great content. But it's gonna be a million times better than what it was, back in 2020. Yes,
We're
sir.
going we're going to attack a lot of different topics. With the most up to date topic, we're going to talk about the NBA All Star and what led up to that. Um, we're just going to jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
So, everybody heard about the Shannon Sharp interviews with Cat Williams
Yes, sir.
and Monique.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
has that has been very controversial.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you Shannon Sharp, he has a wonderful platform, and he has literally went from a certain amount of followers to doubling and tripling his followers based off of those two interviews alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it has caused him to get some backlash from some comedians and everything like that, calling him messy. But to me, I don't see it as him being messy. I think that the brother just he knows who to bring on to his podcast, his platform,
Yeah.
and he not sure what these folks gonna say. You know what I mean?
That's,
These folks just happen to just speak their truth. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean?
Facts.
And Cat Williams, he really expressed his he expressed what his experience with Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the comedians and stuff that he dealt with, and Monique, she did the same thing, and she kind of backed him up, and said yes. What Cat Williams was saying, yes, that was true. I had the same experience with such and such dude. I'm not gonna say their name. They had the same experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And Shannon Sharp just happened to be the middleman. He just had the platform. He said, "Hey, I heard you had this and this guy going on, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate. What's going on?"
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it'd be the same thing as going on the Oprah Winfrey show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gonna have Oprah gonna say, or Wendy Williams show. Not to compare those two together, but it's like when you go it's like when you go on their show, they're gonna ask you the question, and then the
Mm-hmm.
person who get the question asked to, they're gonna say, well, blase, and I had this experience, and this person did this and that. It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
you ain't gonna call them messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give this brother a chance. You know what I mean? He just started his platform. Well, one of many platforms. He got the one with my boy Chad Ocho
Ocho
Cinco,
Cinco. Yeah.
which is really good. And
Yeah.
yeah, just get this man a break. You know,
Yeah.
but I saw the a clip where Mike Epps was doing a stand-up special, and he was talking about how he wouldn't want to go on the Shannon Sharp show, and he had got into some things, basically calling the man kind of
Mm-hmm.
gay. He was like, I don't want him looking at my nuts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharp came back, and he like, look, I ain't like that, and he like, when I see you, we gonna talk. And I'm just glad to see that these two grown men came together and mended that small amount of beef that was started on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't have to go any further. I just wished a lot of other brothers and sisters in our community, like the rap community and things like that, I wish they could do the same thing instead of having this internet beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say some things, I say some things, let's meet in person and we talk this thing over. I think
True.
that is a perfect example of how it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those two brothers mending fences right then and there, and showing a picture of them dapping each other up like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I felt this way. All right, cool. I felt this way. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We agree to disagree. We cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
squash this. No violence got to be involved in things like that. And I feel like that, so that leads to my next topic. Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that has gotten really, really personal. When you agree?
Yeah, yeah. But I wanted to speak to the first topic before we jump to the other one. The
Okay.
thing about Shannon Sharp, just to kind of get this man a little bit of grace, he didn't know what the heck was going on. Like he invited
Absolutely.
Cat William or whatever, and Cat William completely went off script. Like Shannon Sharp even said, "Listen, I had a line of questions lined up for Cat Williams, and I pretty much just let them flow." One thing that Cat Williams said is, "You created a safe space here where people can pretty much tell their truth, with pretty much without any interruption, and not too much pushback. Like he's gonna ask questions, but he's gonna basically just let you flow." And Cat Williams pretty much just did that. Like he went on there and he was like, "Listen, I sat back for an entire year, didn't say anything, and I watched these different comedians come onto your platform and basically just spread a bunch of lies,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm basically just here just to clear some air. That's all I'm here to do." So Shannon Sharp had no knowledge about this. So for people to sit back and try to call Shannon Sharp messy is insane. Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
inviting these people onto my platform. I'm not trying to push a certain type of narrative. Like I'm here to do a doggone interview. That's what we're doing. We're doing an interview. I want to know about their
Absolutely.
life, like how they came to be whoever they are now. Like I'm just asking questions. But I think that Shannon Sharp didn't even get through 10% of the questions that he had for Cat Williams.
He
Cat Williams
didn't.
just pretty much just went off script. But I respect it though. You got to respect it.
And also the fact that you gotta give Shannon Sharp a break too, because this is a athlete who
Mm-hmm.
who went from an athlete to a sports analyst. So all of his focus has been on sport drama. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
sports statistics and stuff like that. So all these questions he was literally asking based off of what he's seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's only been focused
Mm-hmm.
on sports. So when he was asking,
Yeah.
when people was saying these things about certain people, he was like, "Really?" Like he was, that was,
Yeah.
I could see that was genuine shock. Like, wow, this man don't
Yeah.
know nothing about none of these people. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He's heard of these people, but he's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's shocking to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, he sat back and was quiet and let these people talk, because it ain't like he could say, oh well, no, I don't think that. And, you know, it's like he ain't really
Yeah.
have much of an opinion because he don't really know these people. He might be
It's
seeing
new
these people in
knowledge.
passing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all new knowledge. It's all within. So get
Mm-hmm.
that brother a break, man. That man ain't being messy. He is doing what everybody else is doing. He trying to
Mm-hmm.
get a new platform started. I mean, he got it started, but he's trying to let that thing grow and take off. Okay,
Yeah.
get that man a break, man. He doing his thing, and shout out to his whiskey, his cognac. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to try some of that, man. Can't wait to try to sit on the couch, try some of that.
from
But
what
huh?
from what Monique said, man, she said, "Listen, ladies, if you try to get pregnant, if you try to get pregnant, all it takes is one hit of that thing, and I promise you, you're gonna
Ooh,
be ready." Monique is off the chain, man.
man,
Shout out to her.
absolutely. That video, and I like my favorite part of that interview with him and Monique is when she spoke on his love life. She told Shannon, she was like, Shannon, you gotta leave these young folks alone, these young girls alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Get your old ass somebody that's older. You know what I'm saying? Somebody your age. Like she gave it to him real.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Hey,
I think
sometimes.
it's. But the thing about that is, man, like just speaking from things that I've seen, like
Mm-hmm,
being around like my mentors, being around like successful guys, it's a lot harder to find someone that's really down for you when you've reached that level of success. Like
mm-hmm.
early on, when you ain't got ish, I'm talking about not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. you know, most of the time when those women are with you, like they really with you. Like I ain't got a damn thing. You know what I mean? But when you
Mm-hmm.
start to reach a certain level of success, man, you got they coming out the woodwork, willing to do anything in complete camouflage, man. I'm gonna do whatever it is. I'm gonna say whatever it is that I need to say in order to either get this man to marry me, get this man, you know, to have a. I'm trying to have a baby by him or whatever. It's a lot of them out here, man. So I understand what Monique is saying, like stop messing with these younger, but man, when you reach that certain level of success, they all look and feel and act the same freaking way. It's a lot harder. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to find someone that's really down for you when you reach that level of success, man. I ain't
Ooh.
even got there yet, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. I'm
Mm,
talking about they
mm,
willing
mm.
to do whatever, whenever. Like, dang.
Goodness gracious. And I mean, me being naive, man, I would think as you get older and you
Mm-hmm.
dealing with so many women,
Yeah,
it'll get easier because you'll be able to filter out
yeah,
what's not good and what is good. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can. I thought it would be easier. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
But with
Because
the
go ahead.
go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, with that money and everything. Again, those type of women, they camouflage. Like you have some chameleons out there, right? They've been doing it for so many years, for so long. They know exactly what they need to say. They know exactly, you know, how to appear. Their social media, everything is basically like a front. So although it's not impossible, it's a lot harder because you start to run into those women a little bit more often
Mm-hmm.
because they know that you got the bag. They know what type of lifestyle comes along with that. So I'm willing, you know, them women are willing to bend over backwards, do whatever it is that you want. And again, they understand how to cater to a man completely. I'm talking about no arguments, food fix. When you come home, massage. I'm talking about everything. Like it's a zero in focus on you. Nothing else matters but you. And again, if we are on, you know, just a regular type of guys approached by regular type of women, most of those women are not good at what they do. They like, listen, you do something or say something that I don't like, I'm out. But these
Mm-hmm.
women, when you start to get in those type of rooms, those women are excellent chameleons, man. I'm talking about I have never in my life seen. I'm just like, yo, this is who this person really is, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
really show that until after the fact. You like, yo, I did not think that this was freaking possible. Like you can pick up red flags along the way, but they are making it extremely hard once you start to like elevate, man, and you start to get in different rooms. It's
Mm.
like, damn, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you.
Ooh.
I
Mhm.
I done seen a whole different type of lifestyle that I did not know existed, bro. Man, it's insane, dog. I'm just sitting back watching and just trying to learn the game. Like, dang, this what y'all got to deal with?
Mm.
Shit.
Mm. Mm.
I feel sorry for y'all brothers, man. Man, I'm not afraid of success, but the things that come along with it, it just kind of make you think like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, I mean, you have a group of people
Mhm.
that don't know who you are, that don't even focus on
Yeah.
that don't focus on what you do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You have a nice amount of women that don't know who you are and don't focus on what you do.
Yeah.
Those are the women that I would go for because you have like Shannon Sharp. You have a lot
Hmm.
of women that don't get can give a damn about sports, right?
Hmm.
To give a
Yeah.
damn about podcasts, this and that. They focus on something else, right?
Hmm.
And the women that they hang around don't care about none of that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They very far in between,
Hmm.
but that group of women is who if I was Shannon Sharp, that's who I would go for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With you, the same thing. You know what I mean? you doing big things, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of followers and stuff like that. I would go for the women that ain't following you. I would go
Yeah,
for the women that don't even know who you are, have never seen your face,
yeah,
because I feel like you would get the most genuine interaction with these women, because they actually trying to get to know who you are and not your success. You know what I
yeah.
mean? They're not impressed by that because they don't even know you. They can care less. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You just
facts. But
doing it
for me,
on purpose.
for me, I'm good. You know what I mean? I got a young lady that understands all these things, and I got with her before like all the followers and everything. But
Right.
I'm just speaking based on Shannon. Like, how would he be able to identify those women versus the other one? Again, if they are camouflaging themselves to be that type of woman that you're speaking of. Like, I understand that these type of guys, they don't want the industry type of women. They don't want these women out here that's out here flaunting themselves, but they are really showing up, covered, but they look nice. I'm talking about body on point, and when you speak to them, it seems like their mindset is where it needs to be. How do you identify them if they are pretty much aligned with the exact type of women that you're talking about?
So when I speak of that, so you have a lot of people that go on live television, or they
Mhm.
have their own platform that you can actually look them up. They
Yeah.
would tell you, I have no idea. Like, you say a certain name, right? They be like,
Hmm.
who? They'll say, who? I've never heard of that person. What?
Yeah.
This person got all these accolades. This person got all these different platforms. You never heard of that person?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I was him, I would go with somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's famous, but they don't even know you. Because you'd be surprised, it's a lot of famous people
Hmm.
that don't know other famous people.
Yeah, I agree with
And they
that.
and they and they got their own thing going on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
would like, if I was him, I would literally fix to the people, be like, Shannon Sharp, who? Who is Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, him and Chad and Ocho, who? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they not playing. Like, they actually got their own avenue, their own route. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
talking about uh whatever, home care and remedies, and they got their own cooking show. They ain't watching sports. They talking about new recipes. They
Yeah.
don't they can care less about sports. You know what I mean? All they focus on is Emerald, and you know what I mean, the
Hmm.
Neelys. You know what I'm saying? They talking about other chefs and stuff like that, and the drama with their relationship and all that stuff. They don't care nothing about sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would look for that. I would look for that person, somebody who don't know who I am.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if they don't know me and my success, they not sitting there like, oh man, like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They not looking at my money. You know what I mean? They looking at me as a regular person. So I
Mm.
can be able to approach them and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Shannon Sharp. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm Tawanda. I'm Wanda or whoever. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, nice to meet you. And they can literally go out to somewhere, and you know what I mean? We
Hmm.
can talk about what we do and all of that stuff, but that's the general, that's how you find somebody. You know
Okay.
what I mean? When you find somebody, like, you see all these couples and stuff like that, well, some of them, um, they never heard of each other before until that moment. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Unless we in high school and be like, oh yeah, Kiki, yeah, he used to play football. He played football. Yeah, number five.
Hmm.
That's the, yeah. He the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Slot receiver, all of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I
Hmm.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of these successful relationships, they be like, oh, you know who that is? Oh yeah, I think he's single. Yeah, I see him come in all the time. Yeah, he seems cool. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? He's just a regular person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing, no hype about it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when you don't know the hype and you don't see the hype of that person, you know what I'm saying, you can actually get to know the actual person
Facts.
without the
Yeah.
hype and all the accolades. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's better to find somebody that don't know you, and
Hmm.
don't know anything about what you've done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's better for him to find that person and be like, oh well, I played in the NFL for what, I think 13 years.
Hmm.
I got 3 Super Bowls. I I made it to the Hall of Fame. I got 3 platforms. I'm on the sports analyst with Stephen A. Smith. I got 2 podcasts. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm lost. I don't know who all these people is, but oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
you got 3 jobs. Okay, you making money. All right,
Mm-hmm.
cool. You know what I mean? That's who
Mm-hmm.
he needs to go for. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that don't know and don't give a damn about none of that.
Yeah.
But at the same token, they willing to support you because you doing what makes you happy.
Facts, facts, facts. But yeah, what I was saying though, like again, when we speak about people like myself, right?
Facts.
Almost
Facts.
like a average type of guy compared to a Shannon Sharp. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll still be harder for him to find those type of women because more people are gonna know him than uh, then more people are gonna know me. You know what I mean? Like again, he's
Mm-hmm.
played in the NFL, so he's been in the NFL. He's been on TV, for the last past 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, whether it
Mm-hmm.
was playing professional ball or, being on Sports Center. Now he has his own podcast, and we speak
Mm-hmm.
about people like Ocho Cinco, and he has different ties to other celebrities. It's a lot harder for those, not impossible, but a lot
Mm-hmm.
harder for those guys that again that have been able to find some level of success. And then oftentimes what comes with success is more being more popular.
Right.
And I'm just saying I think it's harder, a lot harder for those type of guys, even when it comes to people not knowing, because most of the people, unless you're living under a rock, you done heard something about Shannon. You
Mm-hmm.
done heard something about doggone, especially with that Cat Williams thing. Like he was saying in during one of those interviews, well, when he was talking to Chad Ochocinco, he was like, "Man, Chad, people have been coming up to me in airports that I would never have thought would have listened to the podcast. Like that
Mm-hmm.
interview that you did with Cat Williams, gave him a thumbs up. Like he was like, yo, what? Like
Mm-hmm.
y'all actually watch podcasts, man? Like that's crazy. So
Yes.
with him being older, you know what I'm saying, with him again leveling up and getting more visibility, all of those views and everything, not impossible, but those guys, man, I feel it. I honestly I feel it for him, man. I think it's a million times better to meet your wife, your life partner, whatever, your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
before you get to that certain level of success. Because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, when you get people that have got it out the mud with you, been with you when you didn't have anything, those people tend to stick around a lot longer when you start to reach that level of success, rather than somebody getting to that level of success and then getting somebody that you know may just be along for the ride, man. Because I've seen this thing play out, both ways, both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying majority, because I always try to think about majority of the time when you get to that level of success and you're on this side of the fence, which is being a male. Most of the time, it don't end too well. It kind of ends sour, man. Unfortunately.
One thing too, I've noticed too, man. The women with so to piggyback on that, I've seen and met a lot of women that's
Mm-hmm.
not impressed with money at all.
Yeah,
Like these kind of women, they know how to go and get their own money, and
absolutely.
they they'll support you, but they don't care about how much money you make or how much money you spend on them. You know what I mean? They not
Mm-hmm.
flashy. They ain't got the newest Jordans on. No,
Mm-hmm.
no shade to Jordan. They ain't got the newest Louis Vuitton. They ain't got none of this high flashy stuff on,
Mm-hmm.
but they collect the bag. You know what I mean?
Fact.
They don't care about none of that.
Mm-hmm.
They rather you take them to the park and you had the blanket out and you sipping some wine and y'all got a nice little kind of like dinner right there in the park
Mm-hmm.
instead
Would
of
you?
you taking them out to a fancy restaurant where it's $1,000 a plate.
Facts, facts. Would you say that's the majority of women though, or do you think that's
No,
even?
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. Because, well, yes, I would say it's not a majority of women because time after time, as I go through my news feed,
Mm-hmm.
on every social media platform, whereas TikTok, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, you see
Mm-hmm.
a lot of women, especially like you had that what was a couple months ago, about a month ago, you
That
had that
list.
whole yes, you had that
I was
that
about to
list
bring that
of
up. Yes,
cheesecake.
sir. Yep.
Yes, the Cheesecake Factory list,
Mm-hmm.
what was it, Applebee's, you
Yep.
know what I mean? And that's I feel like that's a small amount of women. I don't think that's majority of women, but you
Yeah.
know, it's it's I was talking to my wife about this. It's sad when you have women who have a platform,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and they happen to be of a certain ethnicity,
Mm-hmm.
and you have people thinking that they speak for the whole entire ethnicity,
Yeah.
but it's just a small group of small-minded people
Mm-hmm.
that feel that certain way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a
And,
small amount of people. And us as men, we would think, oh man, these women they want us to take us to this place and that place. And so when you see those small amount of people, you have some men, not all, you have some men that think small minded just like those women, and they feel like, okay, I gotta take this next woman out to what, Morton Steakhouse, okay,
yeah.
or I gotta take them to Salt Bay.
Yeah.
You know
Damn
what I
sure
mean?
ain't happening with me. Yeah, you can go
Right.
down.
Me either.
Mother.
Me either. No shade, no shade to Salt Bay or Mortons. Okay, no shade to them at all. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing y'all thing. But y'all restaurant is expensive, okay? And I'm gonna lead that. I'm gonna lead y'all menu to the ballers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't there yet. And even when I get there, I'm gonna still stay humble to my foundings. But when you have that that group of small minded people, and they got this platform that goes, they make these comments that go viral. You have you have men that follow after that, and they see that they think small minded too, and they be trying to follow what they see of a trend of a bunch of small minded people, small minded women, and they try to do that to a real woman, and they don't find that interaction, or you run into vice versa. You know what I mean? We because we see this on social media, we think that, oh, that's the expectation of everybody, and it's totally false. You know what I mean? I hate when I see those little bitty posts. You know what I mean? I would rather them say my personal experience, what I want. You know what I mean? And all right, cool. That's you get your 1,000 followers and stuff like that. And then after that, I would rather another sister say, I'm not like that. You can take me anywhere. You know what I mean? And I want to see that go as viral just as the list of places I'm not going person. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of women of color in particular get shaded because of a, a small amount of women putting these posts up about their expectations and what they want and all of this. But I feel like they should put something positive and you know what I'm saying, say this is for the group that's not like that. You know what I mean? Instead of, can you hear me? Oh shoot! You, hello? Uh
Yo, yo,
oh,
yo.
you back?
Yeah, yeah, my bad. My phone overheated, man. My bad.
Oh no, you all right? I I was saying that when you have women that create their list, you should have another group of women create a platform and say we not like that,
Yes.
and it should be, what I'm saying, it should get as much heat. I mean, it should get as much followers and likes and views. It's the same. Well, it's the same as the group of the women who had that list, and that way, what I'm saying, they can kind of separate each other on that note. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because all
Facts.
women ain't
Yep.
like that.
That's true.
So,
And the thing is, and that was gonna be my next point. The the ones that are the most wrong are
mm-hmm,
the loudest ones in the room.
right.
And the ones that are right and do have the results. And I actually had a conversation with a few young ladies that have been able to reach that certain level of success where they value their man, they're married, successfully married or whatever. And I was like, yo, I got a question. Why don't y'all really speak up? And some of them was basically just saying, it's not my place. And when it comes to those women, they've already made up their mind. This is who they are, and they're going to continue to believe this nonsense. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
have other women that encourage that bad behavior. And when we speak out, we get backlash just as much as y'all do. Like if
Mm-hmm.
not more. Like those women are vicious. And I just prefer those women, they just prefer to stay in their feminine state. Like, listen, I'm out of the fight at this point. I got what I want. I done found, what I'm saying? They done found a man. We good. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I can understand that. You know what I mean? I can definitely understand that, but it would definitely be much appreciated if those soft, feminine, cooperative women would speak up. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna put y'all on a pedestal every single last doggone time. Men
Mm-hmm.
are starting to speak up a little bit more and say, listen, we not getting with these type of chicks. Yeah, you gonna have guys that's gonna bust you down, but nobody's marrying y'all. That's
No.
the reason why, I ain't gonna get into the data and statistics, but on certain sides, some of those women are being married at a less than 25% rate. Like one
Mm-hmm.
out of four, women, those type of women are going to get married in a lifetime. That's to anybody, black, white, Asian, whatever. And so
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why in the world we still have young ladies like this that still have and keep that type of mindset, because at the end of the day, most of y'all are not getting the results that you want in life.
I think I beg to differ. I think those women who say, "Oh, you got to spend you got to spend $500 on a dinner for me and blah blah blah," they are getting the results. You know what I'm saying?
What? Really?
Yes, yes, because there are men that's
Mhm.
gonna pay that.
But
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
but
They
but
tricking. These women
so
are. Go ahead.
but those women though, those women,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about results in life, that means getting a husband. Most of those women that are tricking, they're
They
still
ain't.
single.
Yeah,
They're not
but
they're
they
not
not
being
looking for it
married,
though. Mm-hmm.
huh?
They not looking for a husband.
You sure?
Absolutely.
You don't
I
think that
think
most of those women want to be married?
heck no. These women
What?
that's out here tricking and got a list of men that's taking them to Salt Bay, Morton's, all those expensive restaurants, spending all this money on them. It was a post a couple
Mm-hmm,
years ago of this chick, and she had a couple men. She had a bunch of men buying her the
mm-hmm,
new iPhone,
mm-hmm.
right? And she sold all those iPhones, and I think she ended up getting up about $100,000.
Right.
She was able to rack up all that money.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what she did with it or whatever. But my point being is these women, they have a business plan. And a
Mm-hmm.
business plan is to trick these men out of their money
Right.
and make a living off of it. So some of these women, they'll take all that money that you give them, they're gonna buy a house, they're gonna start a business, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, do whatever smart idea they come up with in their head. You know what I mean? So they not really looking for a mate. They just looking for right now, not a lifetime.
So let's go ahead and let's dissect that, because
Mm-hmm.
sitting in a room full of women, at one of my last jobs, I was working in security or whatever, and we had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation similar to this. You know what women put on a pedestal more than money, more than education, and more than anything else
What's that?
is a relationship with a successful man. Women across the board have leveled up, right? Women
Mm-hmm.
have leveled up when it comes to being the most educated. Women have leveled up when it comes to making more money than a lot of men. But yet and still, we still see these same women are the most depressed. They're on medications more now than ever. They're more depressed. And the reason why is because they are away from their purpose. And a woman's purpose is always going to be tied into a relationship, having children, being with her husband. And yes, you can go out here and you can think that education and money is going to do it for you. But when we look at these platforms from these older women, let's not talk about women when they're in their prime, when they're in their 20s and their 30s, and they're tricking and they're doing all this other stuff. But when it all boils down to it, at the end of the day, every single last woman that has focused on their career, has focused on their money, they they have said that they made a bad decision. They made a
Mm-hmm.
choice. I wish that I would have had this mindset when I was younger to focus on getting a husband and having children when I was younger, because this bag life, and most of them are not really getting to the bag. Let's be honest. Most of them are honestly getting more and more in debt, and they're paying debt on up until they're in their doggone 60s. If we're
Mm-hmm.
keeping it a band, but time after time again, I have seen a lady that was on a news broadcast or whatever. She's like, "Listen, I traveled the world. I have made buku amount of money. I have got my doctorate. I've got my master. I did all of these things, and now that I'm in my 40s, I feel like I have honestly made a mistake." And she said that in the public. You can go and look it up. It's on Google. It was one of the biggest stories that was trending last year. This young lady said that she made a mistake because she focused on the wrong things. And again, a woman's purpose, regardless of where she's at in her life, she's always going to have that voice in the back of her head. Whether I'm getting money, I'm getting taken out the Salt Bay, and I'm posting these pictures and everything, and I got this big house. When they go back to those big houses, and those guys are not there because they don't have a boyfriend, a partner, or whatever, but they're out here tricking, I promise you, they can put on the front all day, take these pictures and take these videos. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, those are some of the most depressed freaking women. That's why you see them out here getting all of these cosmetic surgeries and everything, because they're not honestly happy with themselves. And it shows. You just got to pay attention.
Mm. What about the women with the roster?
The roster,
Yeah, they got multiple boyfriends.
yeah. So even for those
Mm-hmm.
women are the most unhappy, because I have not yet met a woman that's been out here being promiscuous, sleeping with different men, that that's honestly happy. And I always say, follow them doggone breadcrumbs, right? Pay close attention to that person's lifestyle. Pay close attention to how they move. Like, we can use, if we want to use Brittany Renner, we can use Brittany Renner as an example, right? She
Mm-hmm.
was out here being promiscuous, doing her own thing. How often does she break down on social media, crying, crying her freaking eyes out because she's away from her purpose? You name any promiscuous young lady. What is Korean Stefan or whatever? When she's
Mm-hmm.
out here giving herself to everybody, that young lady doesn't know left from freaking right now. All over the place. And again, it all boils back down to those women being so far away from their purpose, and that's the reason why they are unhappy. Don't, regardless
She,
of what narrative they're pushing out here, telling these women to go out here, be promiscuous, sleep with all of these different men or whatever. The women that choose not to follow those guys, those are some of the happiest women I've ever seen in my life. I did a reaction to a young lady that's married to an electrician. This guy doesn't make a lot of money, and I'm probably gonna reference her a lot. She is actually one of my. Oh, when I tell you, this young lady is drop dead gorgeous, and she's married to a guy that makes maybe 60, 70 thousand dollars per year. Not nothing crazy, like it's enough to get by, get off of, or whatever. But
mm-hmm.
gorgeous, and she's 1,000% committed to her man. Stand by her man, no matter freaking. When I tell you, pots and pan, when that man comes in the door, he doesn't have to lift a finger. And most
Mm.
people would not consider him as a high value man, but she's so tied into her purpose, which is, and she has said this time and time again, her purpose is to serve her man. Those women that understand what their purpose is in life. I have never in my life seen a young lady smile that doggone hard. Man, when I tell you, she even when that man walks through the doggone door, jumping on them. They don't have any children or anything right now, but man, I'm telling you, that's where those women should be. Not out here giving themselves to different men, because at the end of the day, ladies, I promise you, that's not going to bring you any happiness. I have seen it. I have did reactions, did reviews, and everything. Time and time, you can follow any young lady that's out there being promiscuous, and I promise you, at the end of that map, you will see somebody that is unhappy with themselves, regardless of how much money they make, how much they so called get into the bag, the trips and stuff that they take, those girl trips. Listen, that stuff will never amount to a young lady that understands what her purpose is, that has a man that values her and she values that man, and somebody that you can actually build together with. We're supposed to be with one person. Well, young ladies, y'all are supposed to be with one person. I ain't gonna get into that other side of that. We're gonna
Whew, man.
cook with fish grease.
That brings me to the topic of mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe we should have more than one mentor.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you have mentors, they kind of give advice based off of a personal note,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't fully healed, or they haven't fully understood the assignment that they still currently working on, and they give you information based off of the success of getting that assignment done, versus somebody who speaks outside of the bubble, and they're not speaking from a personal note. But so not taking away from that particular mentor, they give great advice on finance and
Yeah.
other things. But that's just an example.
Yeah.
It's good to have more than one mentor, and you can become a better person for somebody once you have some type of mentor to kind of guide you and show you outside. You know what I mean? Show you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They can kind of show you, okay, this is the possibility. You know what I mean? Of what can happen if you keep going this route and stuff like that. Because some of these young ladies, man, I really really feel for them, man. All these platforms, kind of really lead them astray. You had mentioned Corinne Steffens. I had literally just saw her on a podcast, and I saw a clipping of it, and I don't know, man, where's she going with this, but she was talking about, you know, women. She was saying that she's tired of the small meat man. She had gave a size, and she was like, you know, you should be at this, women should be accepting men at this size and stuff like that. And she was based off of her own experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, she's been with several men. And I've actually seen a lot of women say, I want a man with this particular size, or I want a
Yeah.
man with that particular size. So, how you gonna sit there and say, oh, your meat is small. You know what I'm saying? You putting down a lot of these brothers like, okay, hey, what I'm saying? You ain't good enough to have a woman because your meat is this size. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
But and like I was saying, you should have more women talking about, hey, it's okay. It don't matter what size you got. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
you got this angle, and you should have another person with another angle. Like, okay, yeah, I heard that piece, but look, whatever size you get, or you just have a panel of women saying, okay, this is good for me. Okay, this is good for me. This is good for me. And you should have a poll, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And have women throwing those likes in, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
throwing those hearts in. Okay, this is what I want. That way you have a better chance, you know what I'm saying? It helps the men, you know what I'm saying? Be like, okay, cool. All right, I got a 1. Okay, all right, I got a 9. All right, cool. I got an 8. I got a
Mm-hmm.
7, 6, whatever number. All right, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I got
Mm-hmm.
women saying that this is perfect. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Instead of saying you gotta be 7 and above. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
6 and below, y'all ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of men would look at that and they be like, damn, you know what I mean? What the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm below 7. What I'm, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel for those brothers that's in that's in that category,
Mm-hmm.
because if you just look at that, and Corinne Stephens, a lot of people seen her videos. You know what I'm saying? They be like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, you know what I'm saying? She said, you know what I mean? And they see, and if you my age or older, you seen her in all these different rap videos. You like, damn, she fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like it kind of fucked it up for those
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
they have low self-esteem, and then you have these turn of events where you get bad results when you dating these kind of men, because they thinking, oh, well, I mean, that's just for that category of in that size range.
Mm-hmm.
They you get the worst result. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's nothing genuine. It's because so now they thinking, okay, well, I gotta overcompensate for this
Hmm.
and that because I didn't got those inches. Okay, so
Yeah.
now I gotta throw my money in your face, or I gotta throw this and that in your face because I ain't, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it you miss that genuine um that genuine interaction
Yeah.
because that is the distraction,
Hmm.
the size of my Johnson. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or you know what I mean? So I feel like we should have as much as we have, you know what I'm saying, as much as we have of these platforms, not just hers, talking about the size of the man's penis, you should also have you got the negative side, you should also have the positive side, and they should all be getting these views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way, we see that not everybody is skewed to this thinking.
Facts, facts. And again, man, what I try to tell these young ladies and try to get them to understand, this is why you should not be promiscuous. This is why you should not be out here giving yourself to any freaking man. Because let's
Mm-hmm.
just say, for instance, you have a guy that's a great guy, right? You have a
Mm-hmm.
guy that's a great guy that values you, you value him. He makes a decent amount of money where he can support you, he can take care of you, he can give you that lifestyle that you're looking for to be in your soft girl era, as they are saying, you know what I mean, in these last few months or whatever. And his penis size is not as big as one of the guys that you have previously messed with. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna mess with you until the rest of your freaking life. But that's
Mm-hmm.
your freaking fault because you was out here sleeping with the wrong type of guys. Because if those are the guys that you should have been with, and you should have been with, you should have stayed with them. But you out here again giving yourself to the wrong type of people, and you have a good guy that comes along. That's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the main reason why you can't get and stay with this dude is because of the size of his situation.
Mm-hmm.
You just fumbled the freaking bag, man. That could have been the guy that you were supposed to be. That could have been your doggone soulmate. But because you done allowed doggone Ray Pookie or Ray done the tap in that doggone thing. Now you basically like damaged goods. All of
Yeah.
those great guys, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing with her. She done already gave herself to Pookie and Ray. That's it. That's it.
But I think too though, man, hey, if a woman say that's her meter, that's her size meter, and you don't meet that meter,
Mm-hmm.
that don't mean you ain't good enough. Just find somebody else with a different meter.
Facts.
You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I
And
agree.
I seen this one video of these group of women. It was like we should have it where they were saying they should have it where they should see the size, you know what I'm saying, on the first day. That way they don't waste their time. And I'm like, well shit. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm like, that actually won't be a bad idea. That way,
I'm with
that
it.
way, that,
I'm with it.
I'm with it too. You know what I'm saying? If I was, if I was single, I'd be like, that'd be good. That way, I know. All right, if
Oh,
I'm big enough, all right, cool. Let's spend this
yeah,
money.
for
You know
real.
what I
We ain't gonna
mean?
waste each other's
It say,
time.
yeah, don't waste my time. Hey, all right, this big enough. All right, come on, let's go. Shit, give me a few minutes. Let me get it hard so I can show you what I got. Yeah.
I'm a grower.
Hey, I'm a grower, man. Hey, it's gonna take a few seconds. Boom. All right, this is my max. All right, is this good enough for you? All
That
right,
is
cool.
too
Let's rock
funny.
with it. You know what I
Well,
mean? I don't,
well,
and then had an expectation. Hey, just because I show it to you, I'm not expecting you to go ahead and just give me some. All right, I understand that, but I'm just showing you. Hey, this is what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? When we get to that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a gentleman. We go ahead and spend this, we go ahead, I take you out, we spend this little money. All right, cool. We have that, you know what I'm saying? We get into that zone. All
hold
right,
on, man.
boom.
Hold on,
Just
man.
know.
Hold on, wait.
Uh-oh.
I'm with you with the gentleman thing, but you said go out on a date and spend some money. How much money we talking here? How much money we talking?
Oh, no, I'm talking about $100.
$100?
Yeah, no more than $100. You know, so we go on a day. I figure we go to the movies. Just a general day. We go to the movies, and movie tickets is high as a mud now. We go out to eat. The food probably about $50. You know what I'm saying? You want to get a drink, I get a drink, and then the tickets to the movies. You know what I'm saying? You want to get some popcorn. That's about $100. That's cool.
Here's the thing, man,
Or
about
get some ice cream.
movie days, man. You know what I'm saying? The movie days, you can't really get to know the person. You know, I can't really see you in natural light. I'm
With
gonna take
true.
you someplace like we're gonna go to a park. We're gonna
Right.
go to a park. We're gonna go walk around this park. I'm not gonna spend any money. You're not gonna spend any money. But we're gonna really have like a conversation.
Facts.
I want you to be open and be honest about who you are. I don't want you to candy
Hmm.
coat anything or whatever. Just give it to me real. I'm gonna give you the
Hmm.
real me. You give me the real you. Don't expect
Facts.
me to spend any doggone money on your doggone butt. Because say for instance, this would be a bad investment. We get into this thing 5 minutes into it, and I find out, hey, I don't like how big her feet is.
Yeah. Or
I don't like
her feet stink. Yeah.
the mindset is just not there. So we done wasted
Hmm.
each other's time and money. So why don't we just do this, right? We're just gonna do a time thing. That way, hopefully you fix yourself up. You know what I'm saying? We both go out, go walk around and whatever, and really take the time to really get to know each other. And that way we can see if we are aligned. If we're not aligned, then hey, it was nice meeting you. There's no ill will because again, I didn't spend any money, you didn't spend any money, it was just a time thing. So yeah, those type of dates, coffee dates, things like that, where we can really sit there, like we can sit in front of each other and actually have like an intense. I ain't gonna say an intense, but an actual conversation, and I can be a little
Hmm.
bit more intentional about what it is that I'm trying to do. And this is for the people that are, again, that have intentions on hopefully getting with somebody to try to pursue. I mean, try to build with somebody. If you're building with somebody, you have to be a lot more intentional than we have been in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take you out and we're just gonna shoot the ish or whatever. What do you like to do? Oh, okay. All right, where are you from? Oh man, hey, now listen. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have those conversations in the beginning about children having kids and all that other stuff or whatnot. We might say that for the second date. But the initial date, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hmm.
And be real about it. Like what happened with your last relationships? I want to know. I got to know what happened with your last relationship. Did you leave? Did you leave her? Did he leave you? Or whatever? Like I need to know what's going on. Like ladies, if y'all are a lot more intentional about
Hmm.
dating, men, if y'all are a lot more intentional about dating, I promise you, it would save yourself a lot of frustration in the long run when it comes to dating. Because if you are a lot more intentional, you're gonna X out like 90% of the people that's in the doggone dating market right now. Because a
Hmm.
lot of them are still just basically just getting with people and just going through the motions. Like, hey, what you doing with old girl or whatnot? That's why it's so important for you to have, ladies, for you to have men in your life. Like that question
Hmm.
that a father will ask a guy, what are your intentions with my daughter? That's gonna scare a lot of dudes right there, man. Hey, we just kicking it. Hey, you got to go, bro. You got to go.
Hmm.
You ain't got no plan. You ain't even leading your own life. You don't know where the hell you going. Get on about your doggone business.
Hmm. Shoot. With that though, I would say, all right, now I don't show you my thing, and you impressed. Let's go ahead and get this test done, man. Let me go. You gonna get the HIV and STD test. I go get it done. All right, cool. Then we can go. Then we can go on our date. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because if I know you got something,
yeah,
all right, cool. It was nice knowing you, man. It was nice getting your number, nice conversation. But I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to pass.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think that's if we're gonna start off with sex, we should go in depth with sex. Do you
yeah.
got something? You know what I mean? Are you even on a pill? Are you taking any kind of contraceptive? Do you plan on getting pregnant? You know what I mean? What's your age limit? Like with pregnancy? Like what do you want a family? Do you want to
What's your
get
body
married?
count? Nah.
Right. Now I don't even care about your body
Body
count.
count.
I don't. Hey, do you watch that cooch every day? You know what I mean? Like, what's your
Wait, you
personal
said you don't
hygiene
care about body
schedule?
count, bro?
Huh?
You say you don't care about body count?
Mm-mm.
What?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
boy.
Cause think about it, man. Do I look? Do you have you slept with anybody that I know? Cool. You ain't slept with nobody I know. All right, cool. You know what I
So
mean?
what if she got 1,000 bodies?
Hey, look. I look.
A hundred
It's
thousand bodies.
she took care of that thing. She took care of that thing, and that thing running. Look. I do not give. I do not give a fuck. I just don't want to run into nobody that you know what I'm saying. I don't want to run into everybody that you slept with though,
That's
and they
what
be
I'm
like,
saying.
man,
So,
hey,
so
hey,
that's what
bro,
I'm getting back to.
that I mean that right there. Now, if you had a bunch, if you got a bunch of bodies, I don't want to know. I mean, I will be only concern is running to all the fellas that you been with, and they sitting there like, dog, man, you got a good one, man. She got your bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that
Like
body
then
count
I'll
gotta
be
matter then, bro. If it's like that, that body count gotta matter because if she's sleeping with less men, then you're less likely to run into those guys or whatever. Whether
right. Like we sitting there, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there like, yeah, we got a genuine connection, but
Mhm.
I don't ran into about 10 guys this week that
Right.
saying, yeah, she don't been in them cheeks. He don't been in them cheeks. You know,
Yeah, you got them buster down.
yeah, and it's like, damn, this is community booty. Like, you was
Yeah.
that friendly? You was that friendly with it? Like,
It, and the thing about it is, see, I approach this thing from the modern day mindset, right? Because it used
mm-hmm,
to be, if we're out and about and somebody recognizes you or whatever, then I'm gonna have some questions. But now
mm-hmm.
we live in an era where social media is so popular. Like, bro, you wiped her? Like me and the crew done bust her down there. I mean, like if that's what you choose to do, then go ahead and
Hey,
do what you do. But that's what I'm saying. Hey, body count matter to me, dog. Like I need to know how many people you done let run you down. I need to know what's going on. I need that insight, man. I need that insight. If she
cause
ashamed of it, we got a problem.
hey, I mean, think this thing too though. Are you still sleeping with multiple? Are you still sleeping with all these dudes? Are you still doing the same old thing? Have you graduated from that? Have you stopped? Have you went from 10 to 0 in a week? Am I the only person that you plan on doing it with for you know what I'm saying for this whole period? Are you a hoe? Not. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That's probably the wrong term. Are you community? Are you a community sex partner?
Or have you
Like,
been? That's the
have
thing.
you
What
been?
if she
Have you
has
been?
been?
Right.
Are you
But I
trying?
mean,
Let me ask you a question, right?
mm-hmm,
If a
mm-hmm,
girl done been a bust down and been ran through or whatever, and she
mm-hmm.
got that doggone history, are you? Well, would you recommend a guy marry that type of chick if she has quote unquote changed or whatever?
Well, do she have any STD?
Let's just say no, she hasn't accumulated any STDs, but she done been ran down.
Well, I mean, think about it. If she moved to a whole nother location, right?
Mm-hmm.
A whole nother geographical location,
Mm-hmm.
she can change. She could say, I mean, do you really know how many people she been with?
What's done in the dark always come to the light. That I
But
promise
if
you.
she,
You
but if she
create a
never
social
go,
media.
but if she never go back to, say she, she changed all that, you know what I mean? That was all in the
Mm-hmm.
past. She moved to a whole nother location. I mean, the bodies don't add up until you go back to that population of where you collected them in the first place.
Do it though, because I always this is my thought process, right? When
Mm-hmm.
women sleep with certain guys, they
Mm-hmm.
pick up because I believe in soul ties, right? When you have
Mm-hmm.
sex with somebody, you are connected for life. A part of them is always going to be with you. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, and I can't speak for majority of people, but any young lady that I have slept with, they start to act like me. No lie. Like
Mm.
whether it's like a language type of thing, like I have like my little words, my little sayings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That part of them is always going to be connected, and I don't care where you go to. You can move to damn Spain. You are still going to be connected to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And in the back of your doggone mind, let's say for instance, right, you move out there or whatnot. I just seen on the opposite side, the women that haven't slept around as many guys, they it seems like it's a lot easier to mold them versus women that have. Because again, when you sleep around with most of those guys, most of those women in some way, shape, form, or fashion are again tied to them, glued to them, and it's like they try to please the man that they have been with. Well, most of the guys that I've done this to, they love that. B, what you just say, brother?
Well, I mean, think about it like this though. With a woman with a history like that, right?
Uh-huh.
She has had the opportunity to please multiple men, and every man had their own different preference.
Right.
What is she like? Okay, what you like? Oh, okay, yeah, that's my special. In her back of her mind, she ain't saying it to him, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Oh yeah, that's my specialty. Yeah, I've done that a couple times, and she
Ugh.
do that to perfection. The man be so fascinated with how quickly he be able to get that nut on. Be like, shit, his wife
But
is
see, here's
like,
the thing, right?
I don't look. I don't been with a couple women that I explained it to him like this, and she got it down. He just happy to find somebody that know how to do it right, and she know how to cook and do all of that. He gonna
Mm.
wife her
Now,
because
okay,
guess
when
what?
it
He
comes to
ain't because
cooking,
he ain't a different. Huh? Go ahead.
but see, I don't want to conflict the two. See, cooking, like cooking, that would be more of a wife quality. That's something that you learn, hopefully, from your mother or those things. But when it comes to sex, no, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that when it comes to sex, again, young ladies, you should be with one partner. And that partner, that guy, that man should be a leader. And he should teach you and tell you exactly what it is that he wants
Mm-hmm.
sexually. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm catering to this man and I'm getting, and that's the beauty about sex, right? Like you're getting
Mm-hmm.
to know that person, just that
Right.
one person. Like I want to know how to please you in the way that you want me to please you. You tell me exactly what it is. And again,
Mm-hmm.
as a leader, you should have no issues with having this type of open dialogue, open communication with that person. So if that's what you like, I'm gonna do it the way that you like it. And no man likes things done exactly the same. Like, listen, I don't want you to grab my balls when you do that. You know what I'm saying? I want you to hold that thing
Mm-hmm.
with two hands. Do the what do they call it? The
But okay,
that
so
little motion or whatnot.
but what if she, she's a good listener
Mm-hmm.
and she does exactly what you tell her to do, just how you like it.
It
And
goes back.
another woman, he told that same man, he told another woman to do it, and she just could not get it. Like she was doing what she wanted to do.
Then
You
I
see what
would
I'm
say,
saying?
I would say
But
that
this
that
one is a
young
good
lady.
listener. Mm-hmm.
I would say that this is a perfect example. I would say again, the
Mm-hmm.
women that are molded to be wives, they are
Mm-hmm.
molded to basically give their husband exactly what it is that they want. So they're great listeners because they've been learning, they've been doing this since birth. They've been brought up to be a wife, to be that person that understands that, my duty is to cater to my man in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I believe with practice comes perfection. And it takes time. You're not gonna learn it. You're not gonna get it in one night. But again, if you understand that from birth and you pick the right type of man, that's the right type of leader, anything can be taught to anybody as long as they listen and apply. You can take somebody that's dirt poor that came from nothing and get them to become a millionaire and think like a millionaire as long as they have the right teacher. That's all it is. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
again, going back to the point that I made earlier, those women that have had less bodies, it's a lot easier to teach them because their cup is half empty. Rather than those ones that have had all of those men, all of those experiences, most of them already think, listen, I know what I'm doing. All right. I've pleased, like you said, I've pleased multiple men and I ain't had no complaints. Rather than those ones that come to the table with a damn pen and a pencil a pencil and a sheet of paper, and they're ready to learn. What do I need to do in order to satisfy my man? Okay, he likes it when I do this. He likes it when I do that. Those women that have had less bodies, in my experience, they are. Listen, I'm open to learn whatever you need. Let's go. I'm excited. And for a man, like, listen, I'm living in this right now. For a man, do
Mm-hmm.
you know how excited you get when you see somebody grow over time, whether it's through sex, whether it's through, fitness, whether it's through anything that you've taught them, like y'all create a stronger bond because of that. Like I feel so much more connected to this young lady than any other young lady that I've ever met in my whole entire life because she listens. Because she came to the table with an empty sheet of paper and a pencil ready to learn.
Do you realize? And you've been with a few women. Out of those women, how many actually were good listeners, and how many were horrible listeners?
Good listeners versus horrible listeners. I think that all
Good
of them.
listeners.
I don't get what the. I've never gotten with any young lady that's not able to listen to a certain degree because the type
Mhm.
of personality that I have, you're going to be a lady. You're going to be submissive. If not, then I'm not even gonna again even make it official to where you're my girl. That
So
don't
how
happen. That's
many?
why
So how many women that you did not make it official with, or didn't even give them the time of day because you knew and you could tell that they was not good listeners?
it was a few. It was a few.
It was a nice amount,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have guys that on the opposite of you, they will actually give them women time of the day because they were like, okay, let me, you know what I'm saying? They got this woman has potential. Maybe if I change my tactic like this, maybe they'll listen to it. They'll listen to me. With you
Perfect.
like, well, shoot, you're not a good listener. You know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm a good teacher. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? If you're a good student, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually learn something.
Right.
And you have these other guys who are like, oh, you got potential, you know what I'm saying? You're beautiful, you can cook, you can do all these other things, but you just don't listen. Maybe if I
Mm-hmm.
change my tactic,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you will understand what I'm trying to tell you.
I love it.
You see,
I
you
love
see
it.
what I mean?
I love it. I love
And
it. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of those guys, spend all that time with that woman that just don't
Mm-hmm.
listen,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up breaking up with these women
Mm-hmm.
because of that. They've
Yeah.
had a list of women that
Mm-hmm.
they, you know what I'm saying, they didn't have because they didn't have your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I see you won't listen from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just pass on
Mm-hmm.
you. You know what I mean? And they have
Facts.
had you know what I'm saying, those interactions with these women, and then they
Mm-hmm.
finally find that one with 1,000 bodies. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Listen.
But I'm gonna have to I'm gonna get some pushback, right? Because when it comes to again those women that didn't listen, the ones that I'm talking about that I've had experiences with, those women are not married today, right? But the women that I have pursued, two of those women have ended up getting married. So when I look at the choices that I've made, when it comes to pursuing a young lady, it does seem like, I pretty much know who's wife and material. The only difference is, I didn't want to be married because at any point in time I can get married. I do have a young lady that understands her purpose and all these other things or whatever. But when it comes to those women that have 1,000 bodies, most of those hoes are not getting married. Most of those women are not women. Let me scratch that. Most of those women are not getting married
Yeah.
and staying married because they actually did. And you guys can go look it up. Again, all this stuff is backed up by data and statistics. It was a guy that went through and they said that the women that have had, I'm not going to say the exact number, but the women that have had a certain amount of bodies, let's just say one or two, when they get married, they stay married forever. Versus the ones, I'm just throwing a number out there, guys. Don't quote me on this. But versus the ones that have had 10 bodies, they are a lot less likely to get married, and they are more than likely not likely to stay married. And it was like 90 something percent of women that have had over a certain amount of bodies based on real analytics, data, and statistics from like 100,000 or a couple of million of women that again that have said I've had, a certain amount of body. Those women are more likely not to get married and a lot less likely to stay married because of the men that they have been with. Whether it was a guy that had a big penis, and now the guy that they got married to don't have a big penis. The guy that they were with had a certain amount of money versus the guy that they don't. The let your chances increase when you are a lot less, when you're not out here in these streets. And that's
Mhm.
based on data and statistics, not based on what I'm saying, but that's based on data and statistics that scientists have done and have proven. Those women that are out here giving themselves to random guys are a lot less likely to get married because whether it's one, they don't meet the guy that they feel like qualifies, or they get with a guy and they feel like they deserve better.
And for those women who got those bodies, do not stay in the same geographical location and think you're gonna find a husband. It's better. You have a better chance of finding a husband in a whole nother state where nobody knows your name.
I don't think the location, my friend. You know what I think it is?
What's that?
It's something a lot deeper than that. It's the mindset.
Mm.
That
I'm what?
mindset, you can go from South Carolina to California, but if you take
Mhm.
that broke mentality, or you take that type of mindset that you when you move from South Carolina to, and you're going to get the exact same results because you haven't done the work. And most people
Absolutely.
don't want to do the work. They want to put a band-aid on that thing and think that that thing is fixed. No, if you want to fix whatever you're doing in your life right now, you want to change your results, you have to start with your mind. And if that
Oh,
mind,
there you go.
if you have not gotten, like you said earlier, you haven't got with a coach, you haven't got with a mentor, somebody that's going to help and teach you to unlearn all of those things that you have learned since growing up or whatever, to help you correct all of those things, you're going to continue to get the exact same results that you got from those previous interactions that you've had with those other men. And most of the time, again, when we speak about majority, most of the time, that's exactly what those women believe. They think all I got to do is just get out of here, and I'm gonna be good. All I got to do is just go to another school, and they end up going to another school and giving themselves to the whole basketball team, the whole football team. Same thing goes for guys. Listen, I'm equal opportunity, equal smoke for both parties, man. If you're not getting the results that you want in life, man, the issue and the problem is you. You need to do the work on yourself. The reason why you continue to attract those loudmouth women that don't listen to you because you're not a leader. You need to become better. You need to go find those mentors. You need to do the work on yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and all the rest of those other things. It's on you.
I 100% agree. As you see, we have given you the blueprint of finding your husband. Whether you got 1,000 bodies or you only got one body. The key thing is work on yourself, learn how to listen, and don't have that broke mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for the 1,000 bodies, move locations and keep your mind back. Keep that broke mindset when you leave it when you left. You know what I'm saying? In that same location when you had all those bodies. Go to that new location with a new mindset. You know what I'm saying? With a I'm gonna make it mindset with a not so broke when a not broke mindset and be ready to listen, be ready to be a better version of yourself, and have that one body. You know what I'm saying? It all the other ones, all the other thousands don't matter. It really don't. Because you don't change your mindset, you don't change your outlook on life, and you become a better person. You got one body, that don't mean that you don't have to listen. You still gotta listen. You know what I mean? The man is the head of the household. Um, you gotta just know how to just work as a team, but let that man lead. You know what I mean? So
But
go ahead.
I think most of those women that again they got if you got 1,000 bodies, most of y'all is over for y'all, man. I'm gonna keep it a band with that's just how I feel. Most of y'all, if you got 1,000 bodies, it's over. You can go ahead,
Hmm.
you can go ahead and just chill out, be single, do your own thing. Most of y'all, all right.
That's if you. That's if you ain't out here parading saying, "Yeah, I got 1,000 bodies," and you still in the same geographical location. Yeah,
Yeah, even
it's a wrap.
again from my point of view, I'm gonna say this. Even those women that move, you can have 1,000 bodies and move. And again, I still believe. Now the women, again, I'm always gonna hold these women. I'm always gonna put these women on a pedestal. Those women that understand that their body is sacred. They understand that my womb is sacred. Like I'm only giving that away to the man that I value, the guy that I think I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. Like to those women, listen. Again, y'all are always going to be put on a pedestal in my book, and I will never in a million thousand years, speaking from right now how I look at things, ever say that a woman with 1,000 bodies has an equal opportunity to get a husband when it comes to a woman that only has one body that has none. When you protect yourself, like it, because your mind shifts, man. After you've given that thing away for the first time, the second, the third, or whatever, your mind shifts in ways that most people can not really honestly understand, man. Speaking from a psychological point of view, like there are a lot of books that I'm gonna have to recommend, like during the podcast, to really understand how the human brain works and how important it is for young women. Again, man, you got to keep that thing sacred at all costs because every person that you sleep with is that every notch up under your belt is taking you so far away from who you are supposed to be mentally.
Mm-hmm.
The mental and the psychological damage that it does when you go from guy to guy, the trauma that you get when it goes from guy to guy to bed, I'm telling you, man, like it's insane. I would just say this. I would encourage women, if you have not been promiscuous, don't do it. Don't listen to
Mm-hmm.
these TV networks. Don't listen to damn Tyler Perry. Don't listen to Steve Harvey. Don't listen to
Mm-hmm.
none of them mofos, man. For
Mm-hmm.
real. The best thing you can do is keep that box sacred and work on yourself. Work on yourself. Get you a mentor. Get with a young lady that's soft, that's feminine, that has a husband, that's going to teach you, if you want to attract these type of guys, the type of guy that you value, the guy that's a leader, all of these things, this is the blueprint. And that's all most of y'all need. Again, to the women that have, protected themselves from all of these different men out here, the women that have not followed the suit. You haven't followed behind those chicks that we see in school that's out here doing all kind of crazy stuff. That's not following up behind the Cardi B's and the Meg the Stallions and the sexy reds. But you're falling behind somebody like Michelle Obama or something like that, like those type of women. Or the Savannah, I gotta throw her in there, Savannah James, the Savannah James of the world. Those type of women, the women that are always going to be protected, the women that hold the highest value, those women
Mm-hmm.
that understand that, listen, my body is sacred. I'm not giving this thing to anybody but that guy, my partner, my soulmate, or whatever you want to call it. Those women, y'all focus on that. Stay away from them Pookies and Ray Rays, man.
It's for
And most
real.
of those, let's keep it a bit. Most of those guys don't even deserve y'all. Don't move
I,
like that.
I got a question, but I'm gonna wait for a woman to get on the when we invite a young lady or a woman on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Women have this women's intuition, and they never wrong about it, and it's never anything that's emotionally led. But it's always about other people, but they never use that damn tool for them in their relationship. I don't understand it.
I already knew where he was going. That's why I started laughing.
I just don't understand it, man.
I
Y'all
knew.
got women intuition. Y'all can tell somebody, look, he gonna leave you. He gonna leave you high and dry. He gonna cheat on you. Blah blah blah. And they have that woman intuition, and
Spot on.
everything that woman said about what's gonna happen to the other woman, it
Spot on.
happens.
Spot on. Be
But
spot.
you don't use that tool for your own life. Why? Why? I can't wait for us to have a young lady or a woman on a podcast. I'm gonna ask them,
I'm
why
cut,
don't y'all use women's intuition on your own personal life journey?
I'm
Somebody
cutting
tell me,
that. I'm cutting that part of my brain off. I don't need that right now. I want
man.
to be out here flying blind.
For real, I just don't understand it. These are
Yo.
same women that be seeming so wise and so
Mhm,
smart,
mhm.
and they make the dumbest decisions of guys. They make the worst decision of guys. They date the worst kind of men. I don't understand it.
I got one particular young lady that will be really good at answering that question. The only reason why I say that is because she's not going to feel attacked when you ask that question. She's going to be able to answer it from a level-headed perspective. I got to get her on. I'm gonna hit her up on IG, man. Just remind me, just remind me to hit up Rose. and we're gonna
Got you.
get on here, man. And give her a little spiel on that, man. That's actually a really, really good question, dog.
Yes, I
Man,
can't wait. But yes, I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that tuned in to the True Podcast. This is our first one of 2024. Give us a round of applause.
yes, sir.
Let's go. We got more to come. We're gonna have more guests.
Mm-hmm.
And be excited. We're gonna have really great content, and we're gonna create a lot of shorts for you guys, and just be ready
Oh yeah.
because we're gonna take this thing to a whole new level.
Yes, indeed. All 2024, man. We coming hard, baby.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, Katie, man, for joining me with this, man, and putting this in my hands. And I really appreciate you for, sticking with me, man. And I couldn't have done this without you, man. I really appreciate you.
No problem, man. I appreciate the invite, man. I love coming on here and just giving a quick little spiel or whatever, man, and hopefully be able to provide some insight to all the listeners, man. And I'm definitely looking forward to this year, expanding, improving, bringing in some sponsorships and everything, man. When I
Yeah,
tell y'all be looking for it, man. Davont'e about to take this thing to a whole nother level, for real.
absolutely. Absolutely. So y'all buckle your seats and enjoy this ride that we about to take y'all on.
Yes, indeed.
All right. We'll see y'all later and stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. Peace.
Peace.